All right, so that's something. Just a little fun intro. That's a deep track. It's actually not new. It's very, very old. If anyone can tell me exactly what it comes from, 10,000 points. We do have a bunch. Speaking of 10,000 points, I got a bunch of 10K points to give out tonight, and we'll get down to all those fun orders of business points, etc. Actually, you know what? We might have to table points for a little while. We might get to it at the end of the show or next time because we have some very, very important guests tonight. Some very, very important guests.
There's no sound.
There's no sound.
John 42.
No sound. Oh no, no sound at all.
Just him.
Oh, just him then. Okay, not us, just them then. Are we?
Oh, your video must have been silent.
Balls. Oh well, it was pretty. Andrew Malachinsky, we just got started, so you're 0% late.
I think it's 1% late.
I guess 1%'s fair. All right, you can hear me. You can see me. We're very excited for our guest. You saw him over in the High Council. We have got the one, the only CHRIS GORE joining us once again over here.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is
Thank
fun.
you.
I was just talking to you.
You were just, I know, it's amazing. It's like deja vu all over it, but now we can see each other. And I didn't even tell you this ahead of time. We have some extra special guests also going to be popping in to join us for the night. And the very first one, we have himself, the Reverend Hare Krishna himself, is joining us. So I don't know if he's present and accountable.
Come on, Edith, give me a beer here, huh? Okay. No, that's going. And if you don't recognize the name, it's Rob Robot Shlomo from Midnight's Edge After Dark. Appears on Mecharanda's channel and my own channel, Robot Shlomo. How's it going? Hey, Mr. Gore, how you doing?
How's it going, man?
Fantastic! Getting better all the time.
So, Chris, you had 1/3 of Midnight's Edge over on the High Council. You get another third here tonight. The only person we can't give you is Andre because he lives in
Norway,
in the North Pole.
Yes, and then
inside of the North Pole.
Mecca's telling me to turn on my camera. So I mean,
oh, there we are.
Hey. Yeah, I want to point out though. She actually got me something very cool. If I can see, she got me this. See that issue 1.
Oh, nice.
Very, very.
So very that is cool. Except it doesn't have the Marvel Comics Group logo on, like banner on the front. Because I smell a lawsuit. So anyway, yeah.
Naturally. And guys, so everyone in here, all of their links and descriptions are down below. You can follow them on Twitter. You can check out Rob over Midnight's Edge After Dark. And Chris, we have links down there to Film Threat, Film Threat on YouTube now, and to your personal Twitter, which I understand you use rarely to never.
Yes, I about once a week I send out a tweet. It's a very important announcement. It's usually some bullshit. So yeah.
You see, when I tweet, I know people are on there. I always tweet things that are going to deliberately waste people's time. So
exactly. Well, I like your approach, Rob, and I've kind of adopted a similar one to my own. I find that the best way to garner a following on Twitter is just to piss people off in general. And then the best way to do it happily is then ignore all of their responses. And then people just decide they love you for you and you've won the popularity contest. And then you can do things like, I'm bored today. Please like this tweet. True story, Chris. I have done the opposite where I do this. I try to just drop tweets, once a day, once every other day, things that people will want to hear. So one day I was fresh out of ideas. I said, I have no ideas. Please like this tweet anyway. And got over 100 likes on that tweet. So I don't know. I don't understand how the internet works is what I'm trying to say.
Twitter makes no sense. I think the least effective form of social media. It's unfortunate that people take it so seriously.
That's how I feel about it.
Exactly. Yeah. I was about to ask you, Jeff, exactly how you felt, because I know, contrary to popular belief, Jeff is more than just arm candy on my channel.
If you have a channel, I do exist.
Yeah.
Twitter is useless to me. We have it for the channel. I had my own personal Twitter for a couple of months, and I never figured out how to use it or gain followers. I used to troll TNA wrestling all the time. Like really mean stuff too.
I freaking love it. Well, all three of you guys actually have that in common, though. That
we trolled TNA wrestling.
Yes, you all trolled each other. That neither of you guys are yourselves in your work life, really. On social media, you're all attached to a brand that has a different name than your own. Which, even though obviously, Rob, you've done so much for Midnight's Edge. Film Threat is you, Chris. There really isn't much of a separation there. And Jeff, same with you and World Class Bullshitters. That line, that delineation gives you guys this wonderful freedom to, get to F off and have people not wonder what you're doing all the time, as opposed to me where, we go see Jessie to see literally everything she might be doing, the crazy things she's up to, what she might say. It's not just about, the take, Mindless Entertainment's take. Nobody comes to my channel to hear Mindless Entertainment's take on something. They come to my channel to see if I'm going to flip my hair, do something crazy, yell and scream, or God knows,
That's why I go to your channel. Jeez.
So, Chris, if you'd like to give us a hair toss, that would be a little hair flip. Now you belong. It's perfect.
I just like to say though, even though it is a bit on the pale side, I would love to have the amount of hair Chris has at my age, because the hair's gone, folks. Okay, see, there's a reason why I call this hair alternative treatment hat. So that's
the acronym I came up with earlier. Should I tell them what that one was and set the mood for the show?
You should remind me because I completely forgot.
ETOW.
Tell them at the end.
We'll tell you at the end.
Make them guess.
We'll get it. If you guys, all right, that'll be for the chat, right? We're not giving out too many points today. I'll square up with everybody for points that were promised. Yakose, I've already have you written down for your shirt points. So Chris and Rob, we do this fun thing now called points.
Okay.
We arbitrarily, randomly give out points. It's just like Whose Line, where they mean nothing, except they're equally as arbitrary, but at the end of the month, I tally up the top 10 and they all get prizes.
Okay.
So, this is the very first month. We'll find out in a few days who will get those prizes, and then I'll have to, I don't know, figure out how to get in touch with people to give them prizes.
What are y'all drinking?
Currently, bubble water.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I like bubble water.
We're operating on alternative.
He's in California. He knows what's up.
Alternative
down the street.
We've swapped out our drinking mostly for what we call space. We go to outer space. So instead of seeing us sipping from our mugs and stuff, you may see us leaning over to
play with Jesse's favorite Harry Potter pen.
Oh yeah, just writing
I don't know
utensils.
which one this is supposed to be.
This is would be.
I am.
Oh.
The only thing I would be drinking right now. I bought a 6-pack of Carlsberg, but the fridge turned it too cold, and so it got cloudy. So I left it out, and then I put it back in the fridge, and then it got skunked. So I'm like, damn it. Yeah.
Chris, how about you? What are you on tonight?
I'm just drinking water, literally drinking water. But I did pick up some bubble water out of branding. There we go.
Filter, yeah.
Brand. Yeah.
Morning pop culture mugs. I know everybody's been wanting those for years.
Oh my God.
Do it.
That's right.
Yeah, I've been lobbying Andre to get Midnight's Edge mugs. I mean, that's actually, yeah.
I have a Mindless Entertainment. I have a cow mug. I have a few mugs. My favorite one is the Jesse Shot first one. Cug. That Anna drew for me because she's amazing. All right, so what is everyone else drinking? Because we've got Coors Light, we had a Corona, we've got root beer, we've got coffee, iced coffee,
Yellowtail wine.
some yellow.
Can I just say how much I love Coors Light? It's not a commercial. It is like beer flavored water. It's like a club soda with just a hint of beer flavor.
You know the old joke about
a little bit of alcohol.
You know the old joke. It probably applies to Coors Light too about Bud Light. Why is Bud Light like having sex on a rowboat?
I don't know.
Because it's fucking close to water.
Yes. Chris, I don't know if you ever had the bubble waters that they're meant to taste like soda for those.
Yeah. I like them actually. Yeah.
That's what Coors Light is for beer.
Yeah, that's exactly why. That's what it reminded me. Yes,
actually.
Yeah, I did quite a lot of drinking last year, 2020, and so I'm now going through a dry spell. Haven't had a drop of alcohol this year at all, just because last year was a bit, but last year was a bit much for everybody. I feel like I was not the only one. I was not the only one that's just like, well, fuck it, it's noon. I'm pretty caught up on work. It was just. Bad.
Airport rules, they called it.
Yes, airport rules. It's like I'm getting on a flight. It's 7 a.m. Bloody Mary, let's go.
Exactly. Oh, I had a trip from hell. I won't tell you guys the full version because it's very long. Suffice to say, it once took me 40 hours to get to Bulgaria, at which point I spent less than 40 hours in Bulgaria refereeing a fencing tournament and then returned from Bulgaria. But the last leg of this journey was a 10 a.m. flight from Austria to Bulgaria, to Sofia, at which point they offered me beer in the morning. And I'm like, I am getting Austrian beer. Yeah, I have had the worst 40 hours of my life. It is 10 o'clock is not too early. I don't care what work. I'm about to go into a room full of international teenage fencers. It is not too early for a drink. In fact, it's probably several hours too late to have started drinking.
Can I ask you about the fencing?
Yeah.
So you basically were the referee for it?
Okay. So I started fencing like 16, 17 years ago now. 16 years ago, and fenced all through high school. Started assistant coaching just before college, coached all through college, started refereeing through college as well to help pay my way to some of the tournaments, and got a foot in the refereeing. I'd always been kind of interested in it. I'll tell you all about it sometime. It's a very bizarre world. We might get into that later on the show.
Can I ask? Okay, so because I took fencing in college.
Yes.
Specifically because I was a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
wanted
awesome.
to learn fencing, and I took my fencing lessons from a Hungarian master Danishi who was in the Olympics. And I remember just first of all, it's really hard. I think like fencing, whatever. It is to get really good at it. It's incredibly difficult. So I just have a newfound appreciation for it, but I really loved it. Like it was just like so fun.
Oh God, it's so much fun
to take the lessons. So yeah.
It is a total blast. But yeah, I got into refereeing. It took me a long time and a lot of hard knocks to rise up in the ranks. I had my international aspirations effectively tanked by bad people with who do bad things. And the funny thing is during the process of that happening, they were out of necessity. They were giving me more and more power domestically to the point where they actually need me as an organization more than I need them, because I'm one of the top saber refs in the country and one of the few willing to assign a high-level saber. So it's kind of exciting because but also I have a very strong love-hate relationship with the whole world, as anybody as entrenched as I am will also tell you.
I don't have anything fencing related. But this is the closest thing I have. I made this as a prop. I was Space Pirate Captain Harlock one year for Halloween.
Wow.
So I made this out of like an old curtain rod and a prop.
Wow.
Here,
and a prop
blade, yeah.
Hilt, yeah. So just to look cool. And I was coming out of a bar, and I was holding this, and I had a cape on, the wig, and the t-shirt, and I stepped out on the bar with the full costume, and the wind just decided to kick up and made my cape unfurl. I'm like, I couldn't have planned that moment any better if I tried. But this is like the closest fencing thing I have. So
this is to hold posters. I got this at Star Wars Celebration. I don't know.
I think I knocked over a can of Fast Fred. Hold on, let me see what we got here.
But it was really funny when you went away for a second, and Archie Bunker. Now Archie Bunker's back.
If we're dick measuring, guys.
Yeah, okay, you win.
One. This is fully weighted. This is not, just a replica. This is like like a replica of the prop. Like you could.
Wow.
The weight is right.
Cool.
It was a gift from a listener.
That's gonna have to wait.
It was a gift from a listener, and I'm very.
I knocked over a can of Fast Fret, so I'm not gonna. That'll have to wait to.
It's funny. The Mindless Entertainment. The first television production studio I worked for was called Mindless Entertainment.
Yep. They're defunct now, I believe, but but we create a Cram is a game show that keeps popping up on one of our free channels.
There's something I used to watch from them all the time.
There is something else too.
Mindless Entertainment. It was Mark Cronin was the producer. Mark Cronin, who actually got his start with the Howard Stern Show. So he did the Howard Stern Show, and for one of the guys there, brought me in for some audition. It was my one and only sort of audition for a TV show.
Huh.
And then I ended up doing this show called The X Show, which is something Mindless Entertainment produced.
I remember the X Show. The X Show.
Mark DiCarlo and a bunch of guys. I was the movie guy that came on, and I did a segment called The Gory Details, which was kind of a lot like DVD Tuesday. I would just shit on movies.
Now go big bore or go home. Asked Rob, what the fuck do you need fast for? I play guitar. That's why. So
yeah. Go Big Bore or Go Home is a guitarist as well. That's probably why he's actually Go Big Bore or Go Home is a huge, like, he has a massive guitar collection.
That's awesome.
His channel is a firearms channel. He's a weapons collector, and he does a lot of awesome, all big bore, shooting and stuff. But his guitar collection rivals that of his firearm collection. So
awesome, yeah.
It's a really cool channel, guys. I recommend everyone go check it out too.
Yeah, Robert Meyer Burnett always whenever I pull out one of my instruments, he's always like, "Wow, look at that!" And I'm like, no, I'm like, you got the cool stuff, Rob. I'm like, that's I'm always saying to him. But he said to me, "I always wish I knew how to play guitar." I'm like, go ahead, just learn. I mean, it's a great time to learn. You can get more quality instruments now at a I wouldn't say dirt cheap, but affordable prices. I mean, back when I was starting, if you wanted to pay $400, you got something that was beat to hell, or it was made of plywood.
Here's a question. I'll start with you, Jeff, on this one, since I know you've played the piano. You learned playing for a long time and are proficient on the keys. If you could pick another instrument, though, one you would never dedicate the time to practicing, but you could just pick it up and be an expert, any instrument, what would it be?
Drums,
because
it's useful.
I
don't want to play it sounds really like mercenary, but like if I'm going to learn an instrument and be like amazing at it and shit, why not be able to make money from it?
That's true.
I mean, drums are part of every culture. All music needs percussion.
Yeah.
So if you're the world's best drummer, you could go on fucking tour with whoever.
That's true.
Rock it out over the summer, come back to your own album. So that's my choice.
You'll have a place in any band as a drummer.
Exactly. Chris, what's yours?
Instrument? I am terrible at music.
Well, so if you could pick any instrument to be an expert at, which would it be?
I don't know. Probably guitar. There's just something kind of sexy and cool about guitar. But I have no musical skill whatsoever. I think I was forced to take viola lessons when I was in 3rd grade.
Oh, what a terrible!
Everything conflicted with watching TV shows. Like, it was just like I quit Boy Scouts because it was Godzilla week at the movies. I quit catechism because it conflicted with seeing Lost in Space.
Oh my god!
Every sort of like my parents were trying to push me into something was always like, but it conflicts with watching science fiction shows.
I'm pretty sure
you're George McFly. Is that why you
basically? Yeah.
I'll miss my favorite TV show, science fiction theater.
Yeah, no, that was it, man. This is and I'm sure I could talk to Rob Burnett about this. And our circle of friends that are here, which includes like Aaron Docterman, Mark Altman, but we would record TV shows on cassette audio tape.
Oh my god!
This is before VCRs.
Whoa.
So yeah, and then listen back to like old Star Trek episodes of Saturday Night Live. That's how we would record shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I knew a couple of kids, a couple guys in the neighborhood. Oh God, way back, they recorded the audio from Star Wars and just carry around a tape recorder and listen to it as they walk around the neighborhood.
I used to sneak in a handheld cassette thing that I got from Sears to record movies. I would record the audio of movies, mainly because I wanted the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And the soundtracks weren't always out right away. So I would just sneak it in and just record the film. So
okay, so this next segment is going to be the shit that Rob and Chris had to do because they're old. So
oh God. Yeah.
Honestly, this is exactly why I asked Rob to come on the show. Specifically, I was like, because there's that fun stuff where like, Jeff has watched the stuff that you did on TV and all that, Chris, and we all followed these things, but they came before us. A lot of the stuff that we don't have the same perspective on it. So I always think it's fun when I get a guest who has a different perspective like that, especially like with, the balance. Jeff and I are about the same age. So let's get somebody else in that generation. Like, I thought it was so fun, Chris, when we met on Andy's Nerd Wars.
Right.
You going toe to toe with that kid, like the 21-year-old kid from TikTok, was so fun. It was like but it was so cool. Like the very first thing he did was quote you at you. And it was like, the layers of that stuff are so fun to me. So I'll tease you. I will never not tease you about it. But if you want to share any more of your,
well, I don't want to scare you. I don't want to scare you, but I used to ride a bike without a helmet. This is something that kids would do. And if we fell, we just got hurt.
I rode a bike without a helmet in like 2000 whatever. So
it
still happens.
My parents, when we were younger, when we rode bikes or rollerblades or anything, we had to have elbow pads, knee pads, wrist pads, the fucking nines.
You're just like the Rock to go ride a bicycle.
I look like a goddamn nerd to ride a bicycle. I never shook the helmet though, but I transitioned pretty young to horseback riding. And once I got to horses, I was like, that helmet stays on my head. I don't give a crap on my hair days. Helmet stays on my head.
Oh my God. So I used to ride a motorcycle to work just because it's cheap. But seriously, driving a motorcycle in Los Angeles, the way people drive, I had too many friends that have like this the typical accident was making a left-hand turn. You're behind a car and they would hit the person on the, they would just hit the person, right? And you'd end up with a permanent limp the rest of your life. But yeah, when I rode a motorcycle, I always did wear a helmet. Not quite a full face one. I'd wear like the cop kind of helmet. Yeah. Full face one was kind of annoying. I like the cop ones, but whatever. I don't ride a motorcycle anymore because I didn't want to die. And it really comes down to the people in LA are really shitty, inconsiderate drivers. And that's why I don't ride a motorcycle anymore. So
yeah.
Well, you already know about Michigan drivers, Chris. So
yeah.
I went to college up there, so I spent a lot of time.
Which college?
Michigan State.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, me and all my buddies. Well, my best buddy and I met there, and he's on our show. So that's kind of like my special place, Michigan. So.
Yeah.
Rob, you never answered the question though about.
Are you talking about recently or recent? I mean, because I'm old. I mean, or something I did as a kid, or
Rob specifically, you didn't know. Well, I'm going back one further. You never answered the instrument question. If you could be an expert in an instrument that you don't already play and will probably never learn, but you could be an expert tomorrow, what would it be?
Piano. Piano, because I used to have those dreams where I got tons of, you can't see, I got tons of Beatle memorabilia all around me. I would have those dreams where I was not only like, in the Beatles, I was one of the Beatles. I used to have dreams I was Paul McCartney playing Maybe I'm Amazed, or like, sit down at the piano. I got a little woman I can really love. My little one fits like little glove. Now we own 3 cents royalties on that. So piano. When I was in London at the hotel, there was a piano in the lobby in the going up to the restaurant. I was like, God, I wish I could just sit down and just bang out Lady Madonna or something,
Dude. So funny thing, Rob, apparently you and I were just the same person separated by a bunch of years, because when I was in the 5th grade, I got my first band together. It was with my girlfriends, and we were called the Beatlettes.
Cool. Awesome.
And I mean, that's persisted for me till this day. I'll give you this. Anyone can answer. Jeff knows the answer. Anyone in the chat who already knows the answer is not allowed to answer. I am actually working on a punk rock cover of a very popular Beatles song. I'm curious if you can tell what it is by the chord progression. Any guesses? Any things? No thoughts?
Someone hold your hand?
Nope.
Oh, damn it.
Sounds familiar though, right?
Yeah.
You ready for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's been a hard
day.
And I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night. So it's it turns out that song, if you just rock out on power chords, can be turned into punk rock very easily.
Yeah, it's actually the opening chord is actually an F, like an F sustained.
Yeah.
Randy Bachman went to Abbey Road Studios, and the engineer said, I have every Beatles song here loaded into Pro Tools. What do you want to hear? And he goes, oh, the first chord to A Hard Day's Night. And it's like an F, like sustained. major 9 sustain.
Yeah.
With Paul's playing, I think a G on the bass, and it's altered jing. I'm like, yeah, that's it. Like it's on YouTube. You can find it. It's easy to find.
Oh.
So yeah, actually, I don't want to get too big. Get the stream struck for playing anything. So that's nothing. That's just nothing. So
I love it. But yeah, obviously, Rob.
Yeah, I always tell the joke is the old Gary Shandling joke. Yeah, I don't actually play guitar. I just needed to hold one to look sincere. That's
Chris, you should do that. You just learn like 4 chords, right? Just your basic.
I can do that.
Major chords and power chords, and then just sit with it and just strum around on it, and then we'll do well.
Then eventually you get to the point. I haven't played that one in a while. So.
And then it really happens before you realize that sometimes with that stuff.
It takes you about 3 months. In 3 months, if you practice at least an hour a night, you trust me, you get better in leaps and bounds. Trust me.
So I want to hit some of these super chats. I know we had something exciting pop up in one of them. We also have a couple of fun questions from Tim Riggs here. So, and I want to read these because I know Tim Riggs is usually drinking, and by usually I mean always.
Yes, Tim.
So
we party with him.
So we've got to make sure that we read his super chats while he's still able to comprehend the answers. You'll understand when I get to his second question. The first one was, Chris, absolutely loved the stream. Question: do you cover things like lesser known genres, particularly horror movies, on the channel?
Yes, I do. If you go to the Film Threat channel, you'll see we cover a lot of horror. Yeah, I'm just like, if you scroll through, you just look up like the podcast interviews or whatever. There's a lot like horror, but like not your traditional horror, like all indie, mostly for the most part, indie horror. So yeah, that's the website. But and then on Fridays we do watch parties where we watch a movie with indie filmmakers. We had David Cross on our watch party a couple weeks ago. David Cross of Bob and Dave, Mr. Show. So yeah, I mean, if you scroll through, go to like reviews, go to the reviews section.
All right, here we go. Reviews. I was trying to switch over quickly over to the YouTube channel, but that link is in the description. It is just Film Threat on YouTube, guys. So make sure you're subbed to Chris over there as well.
Or you can click on, just scroll down there. You'll see all but like if you click on our videos, it'll give you a taste of like what's on our channel. So
videos, this is what you can kind of
that, and you'll see like, we run a lot of indie film trailers that you would never see anywhere. And then we do this annual award show called Award This, which is like, it's like a parody of an award show. Cause I think award shows people take awards so seriously. So we decided to start our own award show to award indie films. This year, we're actually doing it at a drive-in. It's the only award show you can buy a ticket to.
Awesome.
So this year, we're doing it at the drive-in, and then we're going to do a virtual event online.
That sounds super fun. You will have to let us know when that's happening and make sure, because we will definitely want to check it out for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. So, I'm just Film Threat. Look up the channel.
Like I said, the links are all in the description right here below, and I will post the.
I didn't get to tell you my story about peeing.
Right, I was actually going to ask. I remembered a minute ago. Jeff, you wanted to say something a second ago, though, didn't you?
Peeing? About peeing?
Okay.
All right. So I said that I had to pee, and I have almost never seen an entire movie beginning to end without having to pee.
Fun fact.
Let me explain. When my then wife was very pregnant, I began to notice that I peed more often than her. And it was very strange. I just peed a lot. And when a woman is pregnant, like they have to pee a lot. It happens, right? For any of you dads that are watching, you know what I'm talking about, or women who have been pregnant. You just pee a lot. So I noticed I peed more than her. It's really strange. So I went to my doctor. My doctor says, look, just keep a chart. How often do you pee? How much do you pee? So I did that. So I kept this chart. I'm like, oh, okay. I peed at 2:00, 230, whatever, how many ounces. I kept this chart because I'm very meticulous, like as a nerd would be. My doctor, when I show it to me, looks at it, he's, oh my God, you pee 3 times more than the average person. I gotta get you checked out. So he sent me to a urologist that did like an ultrasound on my guts. And the technician's like looking at my guts and he's like, hey, I need to ask you a question. I said, yeah. He goes, have you ever been to Mexico? I said, no, I've never been to Mexico. Why is he asking me this fucking question? Have you ever been in a car accident? I said, I have not been in a car accident. He said, I can't find your other kidney. So he basically discovered through the ultrasound, he was fucking with me, this guy. But through the ultrasound, he found out I was born with 1 kidney.
Oh, wow.
Really rare. So I only have 1 really enlarged kidney. So effectively, I'm a mutant.
You got a super kidney.
I have a super kidney that processes liquid faster. It's just larger and it just processes it. So I can't donate a kidney. And if I was in the X-Men, I'd have the most useless superpower ever.
Oh, you'd be perfect for my.
You're-
I'm constantly collecting like weird, useless superpowers. So having 1 giant kidney is going on the list.
It's the worst superpower. The urinator, I would be terrible at Professor X's Academy. Anyways, so I'm effectively a mutant. And since I learned that, I've met 2 other people in the world that also have it. It's not something that would really come up, but I remember when I told my mom on the phone, I'm like, hey mom, just want to let you know this. And I told her, I only have 1 kidney. She broke down crying like she failed me as a mother. Like, I can't believe you only have 1 kidney.
It's five because she feel guilty. She only gave you 1 kidney. Is it just
I
100%?
I did ask my doctor. I said, so like, should I do anything different with my life? Should I do? He goes, well, because if I were you, I probably wouldn't go skydiving. And he goes, I wouldn't play contact sports. And I'm like, all right, because you can puncture your words. So, that's my story about having to pee a lot. And I do have to kind of like plan around it. I know where every bathroom is at every retail place.
That's a useful skill, actually.
Yeah,
it really is.
So
my wonderful mother is she is currently 69, and I'm fine saying that because she doesn't care. But
the filter.
she has started
record.
She has started to wear, panty liners meant for older leaky ladies, and she is now in love with them to the point where she has encouraged me. She's like, if you're on a long road trip or something, you could just pee. And I'm like, that's great, Mom. I just turned 30. I can hold it. It's fine.
Okay, so they're comfortable. So I seriously looked into adult diapers.
Yes.
When Avengers Endgame was going to come out. Like, I was seriously considering, like, okay, I'm going to see this movie. I don't want to miss a minute. I will sit in my own urine.
That's commitment.
As it turns out, I have to time it. There's even an app. There's an app that you can get called Run Pee. Have you heard of this app?
Yep.
It tells you when to go to the bathroom when you go to a movie, and then it tells you what you missed. And it kind of like, it's like, go at this when Spock does this at this movie, that's when to go pee. So I always like make it a point, like a movie, Avengers Endgame, I think I saw like 3 times in the theater, but like I'll pick the time I'm going to go and then make sure to go a different time.
That is $1 million idea right there. That really is.
God. That app, that's brilliant. Grand Moff Inquisitor says, piss your pants like a real man.
Yeah.
When I saw Star Trek Beyond, I remember like I sat down and about 20 minutes in, the only thing I could think for the rest of the movie was, man, I really got to take a piss. That's my main takeaway. I'm like, yeah, the movie's okay, but I really had to go to the bathroom during it.
Right, that's all I remember. So I got
Hateful Eight's the one I had to walk out and pee. That's the only movie I couldn't hold it through.
I've had a few where I've had to, just because the thing with me is I don't think I have a very large bladder, but I'm also like chronically dehydrated. I just don't need as much liquid to operate. I'm like a camel. I've got a giant butt. I store all my fat and extra moisture in my hump down there.
I can confirm that.
It's a true story. And then I just drink less than the average human.
I can confirm that too.
The thing is, my body works weird though. It's not even just the bladder size. If let's say I get really thirsty or really dehydrated and I double up on my drinking, I just pee twice as much, and I don't get any more hydrated though. It just cycles. I wonder if I have super kidneys as well, because it just cycles right through really quickly, but I don't actually retain more of the water or stay more hydrated.
You might not know. I mean, I was around your age when I found out that I had one kidney.
Interesting.
So it's not something that like you. How would you know that you only have one?
Chris, if it turns out somehow that I only have one kidney, you and I are officially now best friends.
Yeah, well, we have to do like a YouTube channel called Mono Kidney.
Yes, we have to do, and literally all we do, it'll be the worst channel ever. All we'll do is like do a stream once a week to talk about life with one kidney.
I actually thought of a weird. I'm trying to like come up with other show ideas to do on Film Threat. One of the show ideas I want to do is I want to do a show where I watch R-rated movies with my mom.
Yes,
preferably movies that have like lots of nudity. Just to make my mom like, just so it'd be like incredibly uncomfortable. Like, what are we gonna watch tonight, Mom? We're gonna watch A Clockwork Orange. Malcolm McDowell, one of your favorite actors, or maybe something where like I teach my mom how to do one thing on the internet.
Oh my God, yeah.
One thing, like how to attach a photo to an email.
No,
that could
no, this would be perfect.
3 hours.
Chris, you have to do that one. That's so perfect, because then it becomes a tutorial so that Jeff can then, people like Jeff can then send those videos to his mom. His mom feels comfortable. Oh, here's someone even older than me working her way through it. I can do this too. And then she doesn't have to call Jeff 50 times a day to ask how to, make a phone call or do an email.
See, my mom had a tablet. See, my mom had a tablet, and the only thing she ever really learned how to do on it was play solitaire.
Oh.
But that would keep her amused for hours. Though.
She did the most expensive version of solitaire.
Windows 95, my mom would play Free Cell and Solitaire for hours.
My God.
I'd be like, Mom, I need to use the computer. She's like, hold on after I'm done.
Minesweeper was my shit. Did anyone play Minesweeper?
I could not play
I used to play mine. I played Minesweeper a few times, yeah.
That's the kind of nerd I was. I would sit there and I would play Minesweeper on expert, and I would agonize. It was like Sudoku before Sudoku, but really intense, because when you messed up, you exploded.
The day I found out about MAME, the MAME emulator, was like a revelation. And I remember I was playing Dig Dug. My brother comes over and he says, "Dude, that's Dig Dug." I'm like, "Yeah. How'd you do that?" I woke up. I said, I want to learn I want to play Dig Dug, and I made it happen. He's like, "Can you do that on my computer?" And like everybody, I have to go over his house, and I have to give like copies of MAME to everybody now.
I love it, dude. I'm technologically inept. I have no excuse at my age for being as bad with technology as I am.
Can confirm.
I'm terrible with it. I have actually gone through the steps of learning how to install emulators on my laptop so I can play old games. Fortunately, one of my favorite ones, they actually just turned it into an app, which is Zoombinis, The Logical Journey of the Zoombinis. This game is called The Logical Journey of the Zoombinis, and it's delightful. Is
anyone playing Cyberpunk 2077?
I am not.
I love it. Like, Jeff, where are you?
Fairly early. I didn't have any glitches. I'm playing on the Xbox, the new one. I had no glitches. I just lost interest because I had to constantly do the talking. Like, I took it real slow and methodical, and I tried to, treat it like it was a movie. But after a while, I just got really tired of setting up for this job. So I jumped back to Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, wow.
I still want to get into Cyberpunk. We had planned, we were going to take time into the strap by a bunch of other things. I intend to dive into it because I think it looks gorgeous. I know
when that big update comes out.
I've been playing it. I just finished one of the endings, and now I'm going back playing it, the other endings. But it's really fun. It's just as someone that just like Blade Runner is like, to me, like a classic film that doesn't feel dated, that is still holds up to today. At least for me, modern audiences don't care about Blade Runner. If there was a Blade Runner TikTok, it would probably be popular with modern audience. Anyways, but I just love that world. I love being in that space, and it even like really projects about like politics and just like it's just like such a smart game. And Keanu Reeves is awesome in it. Like once you he gets sort of downloaded in your brain, so he pops up constantly to talk to you. It's awesome. He's not a small part of the game. He's like a big part of the story.
That's super good.
Yeah, okay, now you kind of sold me because I love Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, now you just got to go.
We haven't gotten to Keanu Reeves. When you get to Keanu Reeves, that's when the game really kicks off.
Okay.
It's I don't know. And yeah, I found some glitches, but I don't know, it doesn't bug me all that much, like stuff floating in a place or stuff that just like,
yeah.
I feel like the glitches, they don't ruin the game for me. Nothing has stopped me from, progressing in the game for a glitch.
We willingly play Goat Simulator.
Oh yeah, we don't
dog shit, so.
We don't mind glitches. Glitches are fine for us.
Glitches. Like, who cares? Yeah.
I found a game. There's a game actually on Steam I've been meaning to get called Jalopy, where you have to drive a Lada, an old crappy Trabant across Eastern Europe in 1991. And you have to repair it as you go along.
That's incredible. Oh my God. And so weirdly specific, but I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. Have either of you guys heard of a game called Outer Wilds?
I have not.
I think I have.
I downloaded it on a whim, and then it turns out it was like it was an independent game, but it won all these awards. It got a lot of write-ups on things, and turns out the guy who put the money behind it is what's his face from Heroes. Yes. Oh my God, Mecha Random. We should play it.
Can I say hi to Mecha Random 42? I gotta have to follow her on.
Yes.
Social. She was awesome, and we didn't formally meet. So Mecha Random 42, amazing. I love the last two numbers of your name, 42, because she probably knows what that means if she put them there. So it was a pleasure being on the stream with you. So I will find you after this.
I'll let you know, Chris. She's closer to being one of your contemporaries than you'd expect.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
I just know that alcohol acts as a natural preservative, which is why I appear so young.
You and Keith Richards
drinking so much alcohol.
I've had a lot of olive oil in my time. So
there you go. So let me carry on here because I know everyone's pushing me to get to something. We did have a really exciting super chat roll, and everyone's pushing me to get to it, which I do want to. But we do have to follow up from Tim Riggs, who said, second question, what is your liquor of choice and why is it at least 8 shots of high quality tequila?
Tonight.
So when you are drinking, Chris, last year, let's say, what was your drink?
I like a good old fashioned. It's one of those, it's a sippers, but usually I'll drink 3 or 4. I'm Irish, so I can drink a lot and it doesn't affect me. So
I'm a giant, so can I.
I have.
Are you Irish?
No, he's just literally massive.
Just a big dude. I can drink like.
Good.
Jeff is 6'5" and like twice my width. So
wow.
Yeah, and
she's not very big.
I'm not giant, but Jeff is extra giant. What was I about to say? I had a thought. Oh,
liquor of choice.
Someone once described an old fashioned as tasting like whiskey and sadness. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a apt description, but I also enjoy the flavor of whiskey and sadness.
Yeah, I like it. Especially if someone really knows how to make a good old fashioned, kind of burns the orange, and then like, oh man, it's great.
Oh yeah. Oh, if you burn, that's the next level. Rob, what's your drink of choice?
I like Scotch.
You're a Scotch.
Yes. Macallan is usually if I'm drinking, I usually like to cap off the night with a Macallan. The best Scotch I've ever had is called Oban.
Ooh.
It's small batch distillery in Scotland. There's only about 7 people. Actually, there's only about 7 people working there. Wow. First time I had it was in London. It's smooth, no afterburn. Oh, it's so good. Oh,
I love really, really nice stuff. If you had to pick a favorite, Jeff, do you have a favorite anymore?
Are you asking me a drink or a liquor?
Your choice. If you have, you can choose.
Because I do like tequila.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna drink something straight, tequila is usually something that's fine. Yeah. I like the flavor of it. I like a lot of tequila-based drinks, margaritas, mojitos, all that kind of shit. That's cool. Yeah.
Are mojitos rum?
Rum. My bad. Sorry. But no. I like That I don't know. I don't have an absolute favorite.
But we've definitely had a lot of those types of tequila-based drinks, like Paloma's, like the grape tequila, grapefruit, all that kind of stuff. Tequila Sunrise. It's a really easy mixing one.
The Rock has tequila, and I've never tried it. But I bought Dan Aykroyd's vodka, so
that was damn good.
Helped me get through my grandma's funeral real easy.
That's true. That was a great. You know what? That was probably that was a proper. I know you're not Irish. We did have a solid Irish wait for. So
Grandma Inquisitor says, Jeff, you drink SJW tears. That's
yeah, delicious.
It's what we salted our eggs with this afternoon on our burritos.
Dang straight.
Have you ever seen on Mecca's website, Mecca's merch store? She has the cup Raylo tears.
Oh yes, love it.
Yeah, I designed that actually.
Oh, good for you. Does Anna own one of those yet? And if not, why haven't you guys sent her one?
I don't know. I'd have to ask her.
And Shri Bells 08, thank you for the super chat, sends us a super sticker, pair with a giant cup of coffee. So possibly what you're drinking, or either that probably might have been where we were at the night all the way back then. If not, we just love coffee, so it's all good.
Irish coffee is good.
Oh, the best. Matt G says, my friend and I did. Oh, although point about Irish coffee is coffee with whiskey. I know everyone wants Baileys and this and that. Irish coffee is coffee with whiskey. You can have Baileys. It's delicious. I take nothing away from that. But I'm so sick of going to restaurants and I'm like, Irish coffee with a splash of Baileys. I'm like, bitch, that's not Irish coffee. Put a shot of whiskey into my coffee or go home. But
what if they don't have the option for either?
Then they can accept a smack in the face.
That rule is not properly promulgated. I need to see it in writing.
I'm just not going to frequent these establishments.
That's true. We're not allowed anywhere right now.
That's true.
But it's fucking closed.
Matt G says, my friend and I did another theater screen rental, and you'll be happy to know you two made it this time to the big screen. Woo! So yeah, since you can rent theaters and whatnot, Matt G, I guess did this one other time, and so he and his friends rented a screen and just went there and just hooked up their computers or their internets and played a bunch of YouTube videos.
You've been watching too much Letterkenny.
We have been.
Their internets.
Our internets. So Jeff and I have now been played on the big screen. Woo!
Oh, sweet. If I was going to rent a theater, I would just hook up the Xbox and play Doom.
Dude,
I can't stop playing that game. That's my cathartic release from life right now.
Yakase says Teespring finally loaded. Jesse, I got a T-shirt like I promised. They've been really weird lately, so I'm not surprised you've had issues, but awesome, Yakase. Which one did you get? Let me know. And your points were already logged from last week. Roger Haynes, thank you for the thumbs up, Roger. And Emily says, I think I may be getting married soon. You two are still down for being a bridesmaid and a groomsman. Love to have you there to share the alcohol with. Congratulations, Emily. So that's also why Ida Steam in the chat has been, urging us to read the super chats, because presumably he is the one getting married to her, since they have been together now for a little bit.
I can't believe how quick time flies.
I know, it's crazy. I remember we were just hearing about them talking. They hadn't even met
That's
yet.
when our couch went that way.
Yeah, our couch was over there.
Yeah.
We were getting excited for them. And of course, Emily, we would be honored to be there as part of your wedding party and to share all the booze.
I can't drink out of the Tiger King mug, though, like at an event that classy.
That's
just let
fair.
you know.
That's
I use
fair.
it still all the time. I love my coffee. I love my Carol Baskin mug, but can't use it there. Only fine dishware.
Oh, Matt Decker. Well, don't worry. We'll take a break on the super chat, since we won't want to follow up that exciting announcement with all the other things. We don't want to make Matt feel bad, since his was the next one.
It's a good one, though. That's the thing.
It is. I never figured out how to use Twitter until I needed to take in more of other people hating on The Last Jedi. Yep.
I wish I knew how to use Twitter for The Force Awakens, like I had said to Chris on the High Council. That fucking movie. It hurts here. Like, all the good characters were just brushed aside.
I came to see Star Wars and I saw blah. Ooh, which brings me to my next fun question of the night that I wanted to ask, since we do have a fun panel of people who all love Star Wars. What is the first Star Wars movie to come out in your lifetime? And what is the first Star Wars movie you saw in theaters if it was different? So Chris, we'll start with you.
Well, that's pretty easy. Star Wars 1977. I mean, I was a kid, but I saw it in the theater.
That's incredible. I mean, what was that? Just describe a little bit of what that was like. Sort of your just like moment, like when you learned about what the Star Wars thing was.
Here's the thing. We're spoiled now by all of the. I actually think that the hype and everything surrounding Star Wars is better than the actual movies. Meaning the official teaser poster, the trailer number 1, teaser trailer number 2, TV spot. We're just spoiled by all the hype. There was no hype. Literally, I saw one commercial, and my first thought was, because I had seen all the Planet of the Apes movies, my first thought was, oh, this is cool. Like the Wolfman is in this movie. Why'd they put the Wolfman in? Out of Chewbacca. And also, the trailers were fucking awful.
Yes, they are.
Oh God, they're so bad.
The tagline for the trailer is about a boy, a girl, and a galaxy. Like, what the fuck does that have to? They didn't know how to market it.
Oh,
And literally, here's another little fun fact. They tried to convince George Lucas to change the name of Star Wars because in their market research, this is dumb marketing people, which still exist in Hollywood. The problem is that marketing people have more of an influence on the actual product now. They didn't before. Before, people who worked in marketing had an influence on the marketing only. Now they have an influence on the movies, which explains a lot of why your big franchise films suck, right? But they wanted to convince George Lucas to change the name of Star Wars because their market research told them people thought it was about celebrities fighting.
that's so
Star Wars, it's about celebrities fighting. He's like, no, it was called The Star Wars initially. But yeah, so when I saw it, there was no hype, didn't know what to expect. I saw one trailer on late night TV, and then I remember seeing the movie, and it was like everybody else. It's like a religious experience. You see it for the first time. You cannot believe a movie could be like this. Like it was also so different from everything else, which was kind of very dour in the 70s. I mean, I was like, what was I, maybe 11? I was a kid, and just blew my freaking mind. And then it was just like, that was it. Everything was Star Wars. And yeah, now it is about celebrities fighting. That's good. Matt
Deckard's on point tonight.
Damn. Love the name.
I thought it was Ronald Reagan's space defense program.
Right.
Yeah, there's that. So I saw it without any hype, and it just was a surprise. And then Empire Strikes Back changed my world. And I remember being kind of depressed, oh my God, and George Lucas actually did consult a child psychologist about what effect will this have on kids if it's revealed that the main villain is, the father of the hero. He actually consulted with the psychologist. That was a decision that was made late. Darth Vader was not even supposed to be the main villain of Star Wars. He was sort of this heavy, right? That book, we talked about it, Jeff, on your stream, The Secret History of Star Wars. Don't buy the book, buy the audio book, The Secret History of Star Wars. It's one of the best. It's like a riveting audio documentary. Yeah. And the guy goes through every incarnation of every draft of Star Wars ever written, including getting up to, what they shot. And, he was making last minute decisions. He famously changed the name of Luke Skywalker from Star Killer to Skywalker, but he was Star Killer in the script.
Hey, Chris, I had already bought it on Audible. It was in my library.
It was in your library. You haven't even okay.
So
dude,
I guess I was way ahead of you on this one. I'm going to start listening to it.
It's like an audio documentary. It's it's riveting. You have to if you guys ever go on if soon you go on a long drive somewhere, put that on. You will be. It's the first few hours is a slog, but you hear all the influences, and that's why it's it's so disheartening. There'll never be another, in my opinion, there'll never be another George Lucas, right? There'll never be someone who is able to kind of trick us. Oh, hey, thanks, man. Film Threat.
Herrenberg, these guys are awesome. They're making Herrenberg is a Pittsburgh-based female superhero web series. They use local artists, local musicians for their soundtracks and stuff like that. It's got this really fun, campy, a very 90s Power Rangers-y vibe to it. And they're doing a comic now. They've got some great art on it. They even have comics in their local paper. These guys are so much fun. So everyone should go check out Herrenberg.
Send it to us at Film Threat. If you go to filmthreat.com, if you click on contact, I actually get those emails. So I'm a pretty easy guy to reach.
Perfect. So there you go. If you guys ever want to reach out, for those of you like Herrenberg out there who have shows,
Herrenberg. Oh, that's a good name.
It's a lot of fun too. It's a really fun show because it's almost like its thesis was to, okay, let's make a female-centric, diverse superhero show without falling into the trap of the identity politics.
Right.
And so they make a point to tell different stories and tell certain things, but they also make a point to lampoon the stereotypes that they lean into, so it sets itself nicely above criticism from the woke crowd because it already is doing the critique itself, right? So when you get into it, it has like your bad guys. It's a very stereotypical, like greasy guy in the leather jacket who doesn't appreciate his woman who's actually tougher than she is, but it's very on the nose with the way they handle it. So you understand that they're making fun of the stereotype as they're doing it. So it leaves it in this comfortable place where people who don't want to be inundated with identity politics aren't. They're in on the joke, but the people who are up on the identity politics don't really have a foothold on this because it's so clearly lampooning the negative stereotypes they don't like, So it's a very intelligent show the way it navigates the modern social climate.
Can I admit something potentially incredibly embarrassing?
By all means.
Well, sure.
Okay. Whenever I play a video game, fighting game, whatever, adventure game, action, whatever, I always choose a female character.
Okay.
For Cyberpunk, you have a choice. You can pick a male character or a female character. I chose the female character. I just want to look, if I'm going to be playing a game for hours and hours and hours, I just want to look at a girl. I would always be criticized by my friends when I would play Street Fighter, and I would pick Chun-Li. It's like I like Chun-Li.
So, Chris, I had a poster on my wall in my childhood room. I don't know if I showed you this one. It's still up there. It's one of these like why girls are better than boys, and it's like all these reasons. One of them was we don't have crushes on video game characters, and I always used to laugh at that particular one because even at the time I had a massive crush on the Master Chief from Halo. Yes, I get it. He's in a stupid space. I have this like deep intrinsic attraction to masculinity. So whenever I play a video game, I want to play the big, bulky, brutish dudes for the same reason. If I'm going to sit here being a character, it's not about me wanting to be this person. It's about me staring at a screen for hours and hours. I want the hot, hunky guy. I don't want the chick who doesn't look like me anyway. So.
Well, the only time I've really done that was when I played Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, and you do the base rates. I would choose the female soldier, and I would put her in a bikini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Mortal Kombat back in the day?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Did you see what popped up the other day? How the actress that plays Sonya is like coming back. She's like 50 and looks exactly like she did at 20.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like this big thing online right now. And then it turns out that she married the dude that plays Kano. So like they're mortal enemies in the game, but in real life they're like married and have a family.
That explains certain moves, I think.
Yeah.
Explains certain moves.
I love it.
Oh, that sonic boom shit she does.
Yeah. Good shit. Oh, good. Herrenberg. Apparently, I guess I was tapped into the thesis on the web series because he said I analyzed it good and we'll be reaching out. Also, we have wise guys in entertainment here in the chat. Want to give him a shout out. He's an awesome content creator. We're a big fan as well, and you'll be seeing us probably over on there next month. But yeah.
That book is 25 hours long.
So that's that road trip.
Yeah.
That's a road trip.
Let's just drive to Ohio for a reason.
Let's just do it for a reason. We'll
Hey,
find
Mom.
a reason. So Rob, same question to you about Star Wars. What was your journey sort of getting introduced? What was your intro?
Original movie, Star Wars, 1977. I went to go see it with myself, my brother, me. It was me, my brother Mark, my older brother Lou, and my mom and dad. Jesse, you're familiar with you're a little bit familiar with the town I'm from. The theater's still there, actually. Yeah, the mini cine 1, 2, 3, 4 up on Middletown Ave. I saw it at that theater.
Oh wow,
it's still there.
We used to go out to the big West Haven Cineplex.
Yeah, I remember that. That's actually where I saw Superman.
Oh, nice.
1978.
God, I saw tons of things at that one, including Mission Impossible 2 in 2000. That's one of the notable ones in my brain.
Superman.
Mission Impossible 2.
Saw my first.
I saw
saw my first Bond movie at that cinema. At the one in West.
Which one?
It was License to Kill.
Oh, that's not. I went back and rewatched it with Jesse not too long ago. That is still not my favorite one, but it's not as bad as I remember.
Yeah.
No. So anyway, we go to the theater, and it's still packed, sold out. It was just it was right before school, like last weekend before school we saw it. And I remember the commercials, and the commercials back then were just these snippets of the dialogue, and then they would do like I don't know what you call it, like a white like Russian like that, and it would show you another snippet of that, and it's Star Wars now in theaters, and okay, we sit down, theater's packed, lights go down, you hear the 20th Century Fox fanfare, Lucasfilm Limited. And then there's that crescendo, that opening crescendo, and then Star Wars, as if you didn't know why you were there at first. Well, I'm like, okay, and then there's the text scroll, and then everything gets kind of serene, and then the blockade runner and the Star Destroyer flying overhead, and then they're shooting it. And I was there. My 7-year-old self I just said to myself, this is the coolest thing I'm ever going to see in my entire life. I just knew it right then and there.
You were right.
You were so oh God. That's why I love hearing these things, because like Jeff and I had those moments, as 5, 6, 7-year-old kids in our living rooms, what's this VHS, mom popping it in for the first time or whatever, whoever's.
That's just your story. Mine's way different.
Well, I'm just saying, but it's like we both had the same discovering this, just like, what the fuck is this thing? Throw on the VHS, what is like, oh my God, world changed. I don't really have memory, like because of the age too, I like my first imaginary friends were Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. I have vivid memories of, them being my imaginary friends on the playground and stuff and all that. So I love hearing that, that first time I love those stories. I will ask you.
Yeah. I grew up with Star Trek. I remember I was 4 years old watching Star Trek WPIX Channel 11 Saturday afternoons at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. It was rerun every Saturday. And I remember seeing Star Trek. I'm like, I thought, I'm like, that was captivating for me. And I was 4 or 5. I used to watch it with my older brother. But I remember there was a time, now I distinctly remember there was a time before Star Wars, and then there's the time after, and just everything wasn't the same anymore. Yeah. I mean, it was just, to me, it wasn't a movie. You were peering in on this universe. This universe actually existed somewhere.
Yeah,
that you thought. And I remember, and Chris, you'll remember this. You used to get the Sears catalog, the Wish book, the big Sears Christmas catalog. Yeah. And I would open it up, and I would get to the Star Wars toy section, and it was all there: the Millennium Falcon, the X-wing, the Death Star playset. And I would sit and stare at it and dream about Christmas morning, getting that TIE fighter, that X-wing, and just having battles and just. So yeah, never got any of that stuff, but still, I would still dream.
Oh, that's wonderful. So we got the movie that came out, the new Star Wars movie that came out in our lifetimes.
Well, hold on. I was back in the theater in 77, just like them, Star Wars.
All right, tell us your time travel.
Yeah. So I went back in time. I have this old friend of mine, claims to be a doctor. Anyway.
Our new one would have been The Phantom Menace. So then if you'd like to give us then your first introduction to Star Wars and then your first time seeing Star Wars in the theater.
Yeah, because my first time seeing Star Wars in the theater was not Phantom Menace.
Neither, nor mine.
I got into Star Wars in that weird period of it's back, but it's not back in theaters. And so I didn't have any Star Wars friends growing up. I didn't know anybody that liked it because it was this old movie. I know people, they're like, oh yeah, Star Wars has been around forever. But for the people that are in my age group, there was this weird blackout period where we had everything but Star Wars. You would have like the Star Wars games on Nintendo weren't even that big of a deal. Like those old JVC ones before Super Star Wars. I was just like, oh, there's a Star Wars game. Okay. What is Star Wars? So I was in this weird blackout period of like Ninja Turtles and all this crap. Yeah. And so I find Star Wars in a book. And it's cool. It's this magazine on toys. And I was like, this looks neat. I'm at somebody's house. They have a fucking old program, I think. And they told the whole story of the movie. It was like, I got to keep it. It was a neat relic from back in the day. but I didn't know what this was. I had never heard of it, and I'm like 6 years old, and so I find a movie at the store. My mom's like, "Oh, Star Wars." She hates Star Wars, but she's like, "All right," and then I watch it and I become a fan. And so when the special edition comes out, I get to see it in theaters. My mom won't take me because she hates Star Wars. Actually, my aunt took me. It wasn't a big deal. But
Aunt Pat.
Aunt Pat.
Of course.
Because here's the thing. The reason I bring her up is my mom dated a guy at Kenner, so all those toys, she got to see them before they came out and was always involved with this shit. So for her, she's just like, all right, that was something I saw when I was young. Like, she got to see it before ever, like, the Empire came out and all this stuff. Wow. And then, so I grew up in this, like, vacuum of Star Wars. It didn't exist in my household until I found it, and then I brought it in. So it's, like, really my thing. No one introduced me to it.
That's awesome. Oh, so much of my stuff just comes from my dad, and it was like so organically passed on. Like the way my dad like passed things on, he never, outside of Casablanca, he never really put a lot on us. You know, Casablanca is his favorite movie of all time, and he is, you know, he's just nuts for it. I still remember the first time I watched it, after she showed it us as kids, and it was like, what the hell is this? I'm way too young to appreciate it. And the first time I watched it as I'd gotten older and really appreciated it, I was like, this movie's amazing. And then started to realize, God, when my dad was a kid, he probably thought, like when he was, you know, a young buck seeing this movie and falling in love with it and whatnot, he's probably thinking of himself as like a Rick Blaine. You know, that's his like we all have that. And it's just so weird to think of your parents as having their characters too, that they had those attachments with and all that.
Shit, they may have had some of those attachments to Han Solo, and they just didn't say
anything.
Oh,
I'm sure my dad did. So that was one of those things where, like, my dad is a very like classic old school nerd, where it's just his identity. He grew up with it. It was just always part of him, but he's never felt the need to like talk about it. He just, you know, he likes what he likes. It is what it is. He talks about Star Wars with the same reverence that he talks about Casablanca or anything else. But then he also has no connection to the franchise beyond having seen those movies. Like, he's not a materialistic person at all. So like, he's never been a collector. He never wanted toys, merchandise, things, whatever. He wears fucking LL Bean plaid shirts and LL Bean jeans, and that's all he wears ever.
Same pair since what, 84?
Until he wears holes in them, and my mom makes him get new ones out of the catalog. So it's always been just like the ideas, you know. I've never, all of the stuff, I came into loving stuff, jerseys. Like I'm a huge Eagles fan. My dad didn't own a single piece of Eagles merchandise and he's a diehard nut for them until I sent him jerseys, and now he wears them, you know, when he watches every game. But I've, you know, jerseys, I'm wearing freaking my Eagles pants right now. So I picked up that stuff on my own. But these ideas sort of were just handed down. So with Star Wars, it wasn't even so much that like, oh, you kids have got to see this. It was sort of this just, Star Wars is good. You're at the right age. Here's Star Wars. Have fun, kids. And I don't even remember what that first viewing experience necessarily was. It's just kind of like Rob said, you know, in the world, there was pre-Star Wars and after. My life was that. There was, you know, ages 1 through 5 of being a barely more than a baby, toddling through the world, cracking my head open as a 3-year-old. Magical. One of my earliest memories is sitting in a sink surrounded by my own blood. It's magical. I know, right? And then there was Star Wars, and then my life changed, you know, and I don't even know if I would have become what I would have become having not seen that at such a formative age. But like Jeff, you know, when the special editions hit the theaters, I was on board. I had an older brother, so he was on board. My dad, of course, had to go see, so we got to go see that with my first.
Where'd Jeff go?
I'm assuming to the bathroom.
Yeah, I got
Okay, because he like. I also don't know how long more I can stick around. Just this is oddly. I have like an all-day podcast session tomorrow.
Oh, dude. There is one more thing I definitely want to do with you. So if you want to go
pee first, I'm
gonna
go.
We'll take a pee break.
Yeah. Jeff and I are peeing.
Yeah, well, I'll
Rob can pee too.
Well, no, I took care of that. So I mean,
you're gonna hang out. You're gonna keep me company.
Yeah. So yeah, my dad was from Italy. He came here in 1952. He spoke still with an accent, but even he liked Star Wars as much as he could understand of it, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's a magic to it. If you're open to it, it's delightful.
He loved Obi-Wan Kenobi. He loved Han Solo.
Here, I'll swap you out. I'm going to swap out Jeff.
Tagging you out for a pee break?
Yeah, you're tagging out.
Tag me in.
Oh, tag.
Right.
Rob, feel free to keep talking while Jeff works his way back.
Who are
Like
you?
the
Am I the $1 Million Man? Are you my Virgil?
yeah, like Afi and Sika, the Wild Samoans.
Just know that they're people. Did they ever tag team? I don't know what a tag team is versus just a duo or a team. There's
one.
A team is a team.
A team is a team.
So if there's
You
two
watched
people,
him fight.
it's a tag team.
It's his brother, Jeff Hardy.
Okay, so I'll be Jeff Hardy because you said that's funny.
See, I grew up with old school wrestling, like the Samoans, the Moondogs, and.
Are you saying that the $1 Million Man and Virgil aren't old school enough for you?
Well, I know. I mean, I remember the Grand Wizard of Wrestling.
God, how old is that shit? My wrestling.
That's late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
Classy Freddie Blassie.
I don't do too much pre-WrestleMania era, like the early WWF Rock and Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
I read all the books on the legendary stuff. I love Ric Flair's autobiography, Jerry the King Lawler, all that stuff. Those are really good books.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And when the Magnificent Morocco was he was talking to Vince McMahon, he coming out for an interview. He goes, let me tell you, he's eating a piece of fried chicken. He goes, he's got the Intercontinental belt. He goes, let me tell you, McMahon, I got a lot of respect for the belt. He's tapping the belt with the chicken like, I got a lot of respect for the belt. He said, you're getting grease all over it. He goes, just seeing all the grease on it when I took it off Pedro Morales. I'm like, oh my God.
Do you remember Don Morocco's other ring name?
That was Magnificent Morocco. What was his other ring name? No.
You'll be surprised that they used it twice. His other ring name was The Rock.
Really? Rock Morocco. Same Rock.
It's one of the weird things where it's like, oh, we have two wrestlers. The Rock. You know,
I did not.
I don't think I ever told you.
So I think we should just be our own tag team. We can just, if you want to be a modern one, you can be Drew McIntyre and I'll be AJ Styles. And
There's be
imagine they teamed up,
why don't we
and then
Shawn,
Drew McIntyre,
Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash?
Okay.
They did team up.
But if they did team up, then you know Drew McIntyre can throw AJ Styles through the air and be very impressive, and then AJ Styles can help make Drew McIntyre more interesting.
Mr. Tickle Trunks has fond memories of George the Animal Steele. Oh yeah, with the green tongue, he used to eat the turnbuckles.
And they both have a nice, like, classic aesthetic. Their aesthetic matches enough already. They wouldn't have to change anything. And they both have magnificent hair.
Let me tell you something, McMahon.
I think it's perfect. And Vince McMahon can just jack off on them all the time. He has a type. Look, Lucasfilm likes tiny, petite, brunette women. Vince McMahon likes big, hulking, long-haired brunette men. It's just a fact. It's this. The evidence speaks for itself. But like I said, since I know, we're not going to go forever tonight. But we do want to.
Sorry, I do this thing where I do like 1 or 2 big record sessions a month.
Yeah.
Then I do like 8 podcasts, 9 in a row.
So before
my record day.
Oh no.
Well, that was
no, it's no big deal. I just I didn't realize. I guess I should have asked you like how long you wanted me on.
Forever. We honestly
I'm not gonna make it.
We never go more than 2.
So how do we close this out?
Whoa! Hold it. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Okay.
I need you. Can you give me 15 more minutes of your time?
Sure. Can we? Maybe a little less than that. I gotta finish up. I'm getting messages from people. But yeah, let's forge ahead. We'll see how well I do.
Very, very quickly, and then we'll probably keep going after we say our goodnights to you. But
cool.
I'm the guy on the East Coast. It's after 1:30 here.
I know. I was gonna say
because everyone's asking about G4 and all that stuff, but there's something else. There's something else though from your account. Not that. That's the thing I did not want to share. Stop sharing that. Don't do that. This one. Where are we now? Something else. Where did I just put it? That some people may or may not remember from I don't know things, the world. Who knows?
Oh no! Oh, that's so good.
Tonight, from Atlanta, California, it's IFC Search Gore, the ultimate film fanatic, with special guest Tracy Lord and Jason Mewes.
Oh no!
There he is, your host Chris Gore.
Oh my God! So embarrassing.
We're going to take away this pixelated image. But, Chris, you didn't know this. You are actually on your very own game show tonight. You are the contestant, though.
Okay, I got to hear this.
well, let's say you have the opportunity to win a very fabulous prize, and your contestants are the prize. So you are on a dating show, Chris. We have some lovely, lovely contestants lined up trying to win your hand, win your favor. And so we'll do it. We'll keep it nice and quick since we know you have places to be, but you can ask a couple questions to everybody and then decide who it is you would like to take home with you.
Oh, dude, I am so
tonight. So, Rob, if you want to get, I know you have some contestants lined up, and Jeff obviously wants to get in on the action. So, why don't we start with this lovely lady right here to my lady to my right?
My name is Social Justice Jesse, and you have to decide what I am.
Okay. So, Chris,
I feel like, can I just say, I feel like people are they want to tell you who they are. And I have always felt that's none of your fucking business. That's sort of how I feel about that. So when I see people that feel it's so important that you know that they're poly or whatever the fuck they're, I don't fucking care.
Exactly.
I don't care. And I feel like it only matters, all those details, to be serious for a moment, it only matters to the person you get naked with.
Yes.
So if blue-haired, what was the name again? Social
Justice Jesse.
Social Justice Jesse. If I was going to get naked with Social Justice Jesse, I would want certain information disclosed before that happened to see if we might be a good match. But for anyone else in the world, it's not your fucking business. And I am a little concerned, to be serious for a minute, that I'm not going to name organizations, but a lot of the registration processes to go to certain events like film festivals and whatnot is they'll ask you like how you identify, what your race, your gender, your this. And I'm like, I always prefer not to answer because it's not it shouldn't fucking matter. I'm a little concerned about that because I feel like it's sort of creeping in. This is like a real serious thing that I see happening. Like, why is this now becoming a thing? It really shouldn't matter at all. You either appreciate my writing or what I am as a press person, or you don't want me there. If you don't want me there, that's fine too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I almost think it's narcissistic and then also people change their mind about shit, right? People go through phases.
When I was 9 years old, I made everybody call me Miss Tiger for like a year.
Right. I mean, look, you could just say you identify as an elephant, but you're not really, I don't know. So whatever. All I'm saying is I think it only matters to the people you get naked with.
Damn straight.
That's important. And I don't think it's important that everyone know it doesn't matter. It's no one else's business.
Absolutely.
This is me getting loopy and tired. And
that's fair. We do want you to get a special home though. So who do we have down below, Rob? Who do we have to talk to down below?
Yes, you have a legend in the field of broadcasting. One who goes back to 1954. His first gig was as a ball boy, and he's handled a lot of balls since then. Yes.
All right, so Chris, you have the opportunity to take this handsome and well-spoken, eloquent young gentleman home with you tonight. What would you like to know before you take him out on a date?
I'm going to be terrible at playing this game. I'm not. What do I want to know? Well, one, I won't be taking you home.
And the shot is no good.
Rejected.
Rejected. Yeah. I just, yeah. I'm probably not going to take you home. I mean,
well, I'll have to go. I'll have to go home with legend Walt Clyde Frazier, apparently.
Is he the guy that's got the gray in his beard? And they got a Just for Men commercial?
Yes.
So Rob, if there's anyone else down over there who wanted to pick up Chris tonight, who else is down there, and what's their pitch? Since Chris is feeling a little bashful, what's their pitch for why Chris should choose them?
Yes, this is. I'm a very prominent rock star. How you doing? This is. You probably know my band. My band invented everything.
Johnny Carson.
Let's just say he'd have to give you a big kiss.
Oh, is it Kiss?
Is that
Gene
could very well
Simmons?
be? This is Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Yeah.
Hello. Kiss
That's
invented
right.
everything. Kiss invented military, the Kiss Army. Kiss
He's,
invented Kiss invented death rock because most of our fans now are dead. That's yes, it's Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons of Kiss.
So recently, I don't know, is it Anaheim? I used to go see arena football games all the time. I'm going to admit there was had the LA Avengers, and I'm not going to lie, I was a fan of the LA Avengers, which was the arena football team in Los Angeles. That I was a fan because they were called the Avengers.
Oh.
This is back in the late 90s, okay?
Oh, okay.
And there's actually a team in Anaheim called the Anaheim Kiss, and it's owned by Kiss.
I feel
They're no
like
longer playing, but yeah, that's Kiss owned an arena football team for a while in Anaheim. I don't know what the status is because COVID has killed everything.
they also have a
California's economy, but we're open now. We're open again. Outdoor dining is coming, folks.
Oh yeah, that's
Outdoor dining this weekend.
We're all gonna
That
die.
reminded me that Kiss had that was good.
Oh, and we did have a couple. Somebody wanted to know. We had Mark C, wonderful longtime follower of the channel, says, "What is Chris's thoughts on the George Hamilton classic Zorro the Gay Blade?"
Zorro the Gay Blade. It's just a cheesy comedy, right? Like, what is she asking what I think of it?
That was the question. What were you?
It's just cheesy. I mean, I don't even remember. I don't even know if I've ever actually seen it, but I remember the commercials for it. But I don't think I've ever actually seen Zorro the Gay Blade.
Ooh.
And Rookie Critic wanted to know the name.
I would say check out the cinema of John Waters.
Ooh.
John Waters is. What's that?
I met that guy once.
Oh, he's great. He's
Yeah,
awesome.
I like his movies. The weird one that I like is the movie Pecker about the photographer. I don't know why I like that movie, but I liked it as a
Wow, Pecker.
Ooh.
weird movie.
I say, Jesse Milestone, when am I going to try to get a date? Oh my.
Well, George,
We all know that's George Takei.
Oh, how do you know?
I
You
think
can't
that-
see me. Oh my. I just could see a lot more of me.
This is like, I feel like you're George Takei, like already making love to somebody over there.
Rob, do you watch Howard Stern, or do you listen to the Howard Stern show?
Yes, I do. I bought Sirius Satellite Radio just specifically for that.
I used to do a show called Geek Time with Ralph Cirilla.
Oh God, Ralph.
I was the co-host for like 2 years. And I got a tour. I've met a ton of people like Gary Delabate, Sal Fisher. I've been to their offices. So
69!
when G4 would fly me out to do movie junkets in New York, I would always take a red eye. So I would land at like 6 a.m. Then I would go to Sirius XM Studios and I would do the show with Ralph Cirilla. So
how
Ralph, oh my God. He just got kicked off Twitter. I found out.
How Ralph ever dated Terry Farrell, I'll never know.
Did he? Oh my God. I got to ask him about that.
For a short time. Yeah, they were going out.
Ralph is a handful. He's definitely a handful. Now we're talking like Howard Stern stuff.
Yeah. Okay. There's one really good impression I do, but I would have to get kind of loud to do it, and I can't because there's neighbors.
Is everybody asleep?
Yeah. Everybody's sleeping. I can't. I have to do the quiet version of him, kind of the quiet version right now, because now I have to get loud.
Oh no!
You gotta get loud for it.
No, I can't do it. Maybe a few hours earlier, but
oh my God! Yeah.
On Monday,
quietly.
On Monday on my stream over on Live It, on the other app I'm on, I for the first time ever karaoke'd a Rob Zombie song, and turns out that's a thing I can do. So that's so definitely only.
I want to say I appreciate the effort put into the bit. The person who ruined it was me.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
it's
no.
totally fine.
I ruined the bit.
You
by
ruined
not playing along because I
Ooh.
realized this isn't. It's not real. But I appreciate that there was effort put into a bit.
Chris, though, we're comedians, so
And I'm busting the bit.
if there's anything that Rob and I know how to do, it's improvise.
Ooh, you're busting something, all right. Oh my.
Oh my God.
I think
Okay.
we found your date for the night, Chris.
There you go. George Takei's voice.
George Takei's
Ooh, and I'll be having the lobster. Oh my.
Chris, Larry wanted to know if there's any good G4 dirt from behind the scenes dirt from back in the day.
Okay, I'll tell you something.
Mhm.
And this will be, oh my God, that's great. This will be in the I'm working on a documentary about Attack of the Show called Attack of the Doc.
Ooh.
So one of the things that I learned that I could do, because it was, standards and practices, you can't swear, you can't say certain words, whatever. But I found out from the standards and practices guy that I could mispronounce swear words.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so I can if I mispronounce a swear word, that's cool. He's like, yeah, no problem. So if you go back and watch old episodes of DV Doomsday, I would say, that guy was a total shatheed.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
And then I would also I was very interested in ASL, which is American Sign Language. Yeah. So in American Sign Language, do you know what this means?
Fuck off.
It's bullshit.
Oh, I did know that.
Oh, bull.
Yeah, because the
Bullshit. So they would be coming out of there was closed captioning and she understood ASL. So for the woman who was doing the closed captioning, I would say things in ASL, like the camera would kind of twist around and come to me and I'd go like, ugh. So I got away with so much crazy shit. It's all going to be in this documentary. The documentary will be out by the end of this year. I'm not sure. I'm trying to arrange something where the 20th anniversary of G4 is in April of 2022. So we're looking at trying to do like a big screening. Then maybe movie theaters will be back.
We'll be there.
Didn't G4 used to carry MXC for a while?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cheaters.
Spike had it for forever.
Yeah.
So that's some of the things that will be in the doc, like some weird inside stuff where and we're going to show it along with stuff that this is the thing, we've been collecting footage. So much of that show you could never do now. You can't do it. If Twitter and cancel culture was what it is today, back then the show wouldn't last. It would just be this hollow bullshit pandering to that probably. So I don't know. Look, I'm just gonna make this doc as a way to remind people of what was and when we all got along and we could all discuss something. We could just disagree. I didn't like The Dark Knight. I like Batman Begins. Who cares?
So
anyways,
comes out though, when you get to that phase, reach out. I'd love anything I can do to help you promote that one, because I watched all that shit. Just come back, man. To me, anything.
It's going to be pretty interesting. I'm curious. I'm hoping. I don't think that San Diego Comic-Con is actually going to happen.
I do.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we have something to show. We're going to show piece of the movie to. We want to do a screening of our rough cut to the Kickstarter backers. I had about 1,000 Kickstarter backers, so I want to show that to them, and then we're going to make changes to it. But then LA Comic-Con is coming up. Late September.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about that. What I'm hoping is to do a panel there. But we'll see. I mean, the world is really weird now. We're living the dystopian future that we watched in the 80s. Or watch later on VHS.
We talk about that all the time. How period is going and watching some of these future dystopian pieces. But
the one thing that's interesting, we're living in this dystopian future, but we're not dressing like Mad Max.
Assless
chaps are not a thing.
So people
We're in
don't,
LA,
which
so
is funny.
it's-
Exactly. So people don't realize.
Ooh, assless chaps. That's a future that I could go for. Oh my.
Oh, so Chris,
Take me down the wormhole.
I think you'll really love, Chris, specifically the fourth installment of an interview series I'm going to be doing. I'm sure you're familiar with Richard Chu, the editor and all that. And so he's through magical happenstance. I have been just talking with him, and we've been setting up this video series we're going to do. It's really just going to be a conversation about, his career, his incredible body of work through the 70s when he was working on teams to make some of the biggest movies of the decade, through the 80s when he was working independently, and then the whole wrap up is going to be kind of a lot of this stuff. How cinema's changed. He himself has been outside of the industry for a while, sort of working on the fringes of it, because of not liking some of the changes and some of the directions that it's gone from his end too, as an editor. And so we're going to be talking a lot about that, a lot of how the technology has changed, how it's changed the movie making process, how it's changed, how money has changed people's levels of involvement, everything you were saying earlier with the marketing and stuff like that. But also, this rise of the celebrity director. Social media gives a bigger voice to people working in movies who want to be celebrities, and how that affects someone like an editor who ends up losing out on a lot of credit for being really the hero in a lot of cases. And so we're going to be talking about a lot. We really want to be shedding light on some of that too, on like how many pieces go into making a movie, how that's changed, and how this sort of new monopoly on filmmaking that certain few people seem to have over the whole process has really compromised the ability to get new and creative ideas in the door. So
I like that.
It's going to be
All
really fun.
I gotta find a mystery date. So I'm gonna say sayonara, or may the force be with you. I'll be back at some point. Thank you for anyone who said anything nice to me in the chat. If you go to my YouTube channel, it is the least popular YouTube channel on YouTube.
Not true.
I have that distinction.
Not true.
Of having a very unsuccessful YouTube channel that nobody watches. But thank you so much for having me on. I'll be back, as Schwarzenegger likes to say.
What I was about to say was just please, when you have, after a nice good night of sleep, just let me know whenever at your earliest convenience, because I have a million more things I wanted to talk to you about and whatnot.
This is part one of a multi-part series.
Exactly. So
it was given to you. And Jeff, I try to remember if I've seen your face, because I know your channel from your cartoon graphic.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen you. Maybe I've seen your face, but didn't
Probably not. Because unless
so this is weird for me.
Yeah, outside of my live streams, you're really not on camera.
It's not because I'm afraid or anything. I'll tell you the real reason real quick. My old office was messy, and I didn't want people to fixate on my messy office. So I just said, fuck it, I'll never go on camera. And that's the challenge.
Oh, wow. That's cool. It lends an air of mystery, like Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Until they ruined it.
Well,
I
until
just
they
like
made Aaron Morrison the voice. So
Yeah,
I'm still Jason Wingreen's voice.
Thank you, OD138. Why do I type these comments?
Presumably because you like to talk, or be part of the chat, or because you have things to say and you're hoping that we happen to glance at the chat at the time that you say it. I mean, I would assume that's why.
There you go.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being
before
here.
I gotta go. I think, note to self: don't book 2 shows back to back.
We really railroaded you on this one, and you were such a trooper. So thank you so much for being willing and game. And we will have you back at your earliest convenience.
And
yes, do come back now. Oh my.
Oh my God, it's Rob. It's made so much even better with like the picture, and then it's like pulsating. It's pulsating.
Oh,
sort of like,
it pulsates all right.
it's almost like dilating like an anus. That's pretty much what it's doing.
Well, I'm getting a throbbing
We have
sensation.
Venus o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all getting inspired for Mad Libs, because we'll be ripping that out probably very shortly. So
Awesome. All right, take care, everybody. I'll talk to you later.
Nice meeting you, man.
Thanks for having me on. Later.
Peace out. All right, so we and Rob is sitting here falling asleep too, so we will only subject him to
East
a lovely
Coast.
little game of Mad Libs, and then we'll call it an evening. That was so fun, so phenomenal. Ooh, I need to read super chats though, because I read the Chris ones while he was here, but well, I'll go back and catch up what we lost. Well, in the meantime, guys, start thinking of words for Mad Libs. That goes for you too, Rob. So start getting your parts of speech in order and your funny words handy.
Mhm.
So,
There we go.
thank you. So 007 Clouds.
No.
I read that one, remember?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
Okay,
did read it. I
okay,
never found out to use Twitter until I needed to take in more about the people hating
Okay.
Lost Jedi.
Because I was like, oh, wait.
Because you said it was a good one,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, we'll read it. So then 007 Clown says, now I want to whip out my swords. Phrasing.
Ooh,
No,
whip out his sword.
We read Mark C's thank you again, and we got Chris's thoughts on Zorro the Gay Blade, a mech comedy that he's probably never actually seen. The Rookie Critic says, good evening, just got here, and apparently you are telling the best story ever. Whoa.
That was the
Excuse
kidney
me.
story.
That was the kidney story. And the Rookie Critic also says, what is the name of that app again? The P app. It is Run P.
Run P. It's been around for a while. It's so weird how Chris is connected to the dudes that I've been listening to, like still, like his friend Mark A. Altman that he mentioned a couple times.
Mhm.
Like that's that Unmade Movie podcast I've listened to for about a year now.
That's awesome.
Which is weird how it's like, and then Robert Meyer Burnett pops up on the one. I was like, it's so weird. It's like oh, I know this dude.
Like,
I
I
stream
talk
with
to
this
these
guy, or
people.
we've done Bond commentaries together.
These are our
like,
guests.
yeah.
It is pretty cool. Rate My Poo is a different app, Matt Deckard.
Let's look at some poop.
Emily says Scottish whiskey is best, but it's pronounced Oban. That's all. It's also a town. We will have to correct Chris when he comes on next.
No.
Wait,
Oh, sorry, no,
town?
that was you. Right,
Yeah.
Rob, that was you, right?
Man, what can I tell you? It was somebody just said Oban, and that's how I pronounced it. I
Oh,
will
okay.
duly noted though, Emily.
Emily does have Scottish heritage.
Wait, no, go back to there real quick.
Yeah. What's up?
Oban.
Mhm.
It's also a town. O-Town. It's also a band. It's terrible. Just like his pronunciation of the word.
Bam. It's like that was a beautiful thought flow.
Mhm.
I followed it.
It was space.
Larry,
It was
Larry.
the final frontier.
Final Frontier. We read yours, and we did ask him about the G4 Dirt, so it sounds like we were going to get a whole movie of G4 Dirt. So
It's cool that Chris is so open to want to talk about that. 'Cause,
Oh,
you know, some people are just like, oh yeah, I did that thing. Chris is like, I did all this stuff, and everything's as important to him to talk about. And it's fun because I didn't even want to talk much because I'm just like,
I just want to listen.
yeah. Like when I said on the show, like, oh, I've been watching this guy on TV. Like I wasn't trying to be nice and like pander. It's like, yeah, Chris Gore.
Literally did all the time.
When you said you were on a show with him, I was like, I'm jealous. That's the first thing I said. You're like,
First thing was like, you want to be on a show with Chris Gore? I'm like,
I
baby,
remember him. I
I'll
love
get it
that
for your
guy.
show too.
Yeah, well, thank you. You made it happen.
I did.
Now
A
it's-
lady of my word.
I was like, can you please help me shoot for the angry?
Oh, you two are so cute.
Aw.
Oh wow.
Now knock it off.
You're,
We can make it worse.
I know we could. We can always make it worse.
Hmm.
Emily says, no getting drunk enough to dance on tables, though. Banff Springs is a very prestigious venue, and table dancing will not be tolerated. Well, I'll be so excited to be in Banff that I will definitely not
We really
compromise my being
We
there.
sadly don't drink as much as we used to.
We also don't, so we'll probably have no problems keeping
Banff, where? Banff is at Banff, Banff Springs?
yeah.
Is-
it in Canada. The
Okay, never mind.
park. Yes, Emily's a Canadian. So.
Okay.
And if Oban is available up in Canada land and we find some, we'll grab
Should be.
it. We'll be sure to get you some if we see it anywhere. But where was I? Oh, super chats. A Rookie Critic says, what do you guys think of Star Wars fan films? Any favorites? Well, you can always ask Chris that next time he comes on.
Hardware Wars.
Hardware Wars is good. I'll say my favorite one is Troops. It's
That's
the
a good one.
Ops parody.
I mean, I guess if you would consider like Spaceballs, because I haven't really seen like a lot of other. I don't really watch a lot of like Star Wars fan films. So,
Well, yeah, Spaceballs is
it's like just a parody
yeah.
film. I don't like. Would you
I'm with you though. I don't really like. I don't dislike
Yeah.
them, but I don't search them out.
It's just not like I'm fine with them existing. I love that people do
Oh, yeah.
them, but it's like I'm happy with what I have with the original trilogy, so I don't really, seek out more.
The reason I'm okay with certain types of fan films versus other types of fan films, it's not about liking the genre. It's what can you represent in a fan film that's close to the real experience.
Yeah.
I've found that there are some really great Star Wars ones where they go out into the woods and they'll like there's this one a listener had us play on a stream. It was damn good. It was like a lightsaber with Darth Maul and all this shit. I was like, this looks like a movie.
That's awesome.
But then there's a lot of other ones where they'll try to do like early CG or this or that, and it's overly ambitious and it muddies the whole project. So I love the artistry. I respect it. I want to watch all of them, but I don't seek them out. If they're put in front of me, cool. I'll be. Yeah, I'm like you. I like the real story, or I'll go to the comics, or I'll go to the book. I just read fucking Han Solo at Star's End the other day.
Yeah,
like that was a cool story.
Yeah,
it wasn't great, but it was cool.
So Wise Guys Entertainment, I saw mentioned the Star Wars Theory one, and I will say the production quality on that is really. I mean, he was able to raise a ton of money for it and has a lot of resources at disposal for it and whatnot. But the production quality in terms of reaching for that level and actually achieving it is one of the only ones I've seen that's really been able to be that ambitious and hit those heights, which is really, really impressive. I had some issues with it in terms of like, I'm not crazy about bringing back, the Mace Windu stuff, although I'm intrigued. I had a couple things with the Darth Vader character and the voice here and there, but I also loved the concept of let's dig into the psyche of Darth Vader after Padme dies and all that. I thought it was a really ambitious. It was the kind of thing where it's like, it's really ambitious to tackle the original characters at all, period, to be anyone, even if you are Lucasfilm. And I thought that unlike Lucasfilm, he did it with an intelligence that you would expect from a Star Wars fan, that is, he is Canadian. I did know that too. Yakose got the I like big assholes and I cannot come shirt. Yes, excellent, Yakose. And thank you for the super chat. Ian Slater says, I will always play faster, quicker strike moves like assassins, get in, get out. That is very true. A lot of times when they give you a range of options or different skill sets, they prioritize the speedy stealth ones.
That's why I like to play as Ivy and Soul Calibur is just for the tits. Anyway, Cocky. Anyway, she jiggled, but she was quick. That's what we're losing from our video games today, folks. Request jiggle physics.
Jiggle physics are needed.
Read my lips.
007 Cloud says, love playing Monster Hunter with a female, wearing almost no clothing, taking down dragons and dinosaurs with a big sword or katana. Hell yeah.
You know what? If the rumor's true that you have to play as a woman in the new Grand Theft Auto, that chick's going to be almost naked. I'm just going to be like, you're going to put this in the Grand Theft Auto game, and I'm going to turn it around on you and make it the antithesis of what you're trying to tell me.
Damn straight. I just don't see the problem. It's the whole thing is, this unrealistic fantasy men have about these scantily clad women, running around doing all this shit. It's like, yeah, it's an unrealistic fantasy. What's the big deal? I have plenty of unrealistic fantasies. I enjoy them in little daydreams all the time. And just because I fantasize sometimes about punching people in the face doesn't mean I go out in the world and do it. It's the idiotic idea that like, fantasies are bad and evil. No, it's only bad and evil if you act on things that you shouldn't.
Did you remind the audience to guess the acronym?
No, ETAO. We will reveal it.
Make sure you spell it out for them so they know.
ETAO is the acronym you're trying to guess. ETAO that we teased you earlier. Now I wish we said it when Chris was here and brought up ASL because that would have been the perfect time. But
that was hard not to laugh at.
The Rookie Critic says, my mom used to work at the theaters when Star Wars played. She avoided seeing it herself because people would always come out different. She thought they were brainwashed. That's hilarious, Rookie Critic.
I mean, you do come out different from Star Wars.
You do, but not for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, even though we saw the special editions but they're lesser by comparison, it still was seeing Star Wars in the theater, and it was still being super. Shit, I had to wait 2 years to see another Star Wars in theaters, so I did have that experience. Like, oh wow, I had to wait all this time, but it was cool. It's not one of those gatekeeping things. It's one of those like, I lament the fact that the kids that get into Star Wars now, it's cool that it'll be at their disposal. Like I can just go on my TV and watch it. But like to go out and experience it when it came back, like we were part of the old culture and the new at once. We were those Star Wars kids.
Yeah. I love that about us too. That was the best.
We're just lucky. That's what it was. We were just born at the right time.
Very, very true. I believe that it is time for Mad Libs. That's my opinion. I believe it's Mad Libs o'clock. So chat, you guys know the rules. Every third word's gonna kick to you guys tonight. So drop those suggestions as soon as I tell you, because when I get to them, we'll scoop up whatever.
Look, it's time to play Mad Libs, you white devil. The president here. Happy birthday to me.
Said nobody ever. All right, Choxing Nationality really wants a chocolate starfish already. So super chats will supersede suggestions. If a super chat does not fit the current suggestion, we will plug it in later etc., etc. As for everyone else, here away we go. Rob, you are going to, since you are our esteemed guest, you're going to kick it off with a place.
London.
Good place. Jeff,
Yes.
a verb, please.
Pound.
Oh, I was supposed to tell the chat you're working a plural noun, so we might just have to take chocolate starfishes. Gore as a word.
There's a wrestling move called the Gore. It's awesome. It's just a spear, but it's done by a dude that's like my size but short, like a shorter, stocky guy, and it fucking breaks you in half.
That's hilarious. Hilarious.
I didn't realize there was a T at the end.
There is poo wrinkles. I don't even know what that is. Like wrinkles on Winnie the Pooh, or like
I think
wrinkles in your poo.
I think you use poo wrinkles. It's like the wrinkles in your butthole.
Oh, okay. Little butt wrinkles. Rabid beavers. That's good too.
That sounds kind of sexy.
Jack
They're rabid
wagons.
beavers, really.
Pea wrinkles. Salty balls. Salty balls is good. I do need to do award points at some point too, because my thing is over. My camo notebook is stuck in there somewhere. Viagra.
No, that is your
It's good.
It's closer
It's a
this
good
way.
one. It's a good one.
It's right here. Under the
Anal volcano.
another anal volcano.
we have anal. We get lots of anal volcanoes up and around here.
We
All
need to worry about a fucking
So I need to
fisher.
award some zillions of points too, though, because a bunch of people did come out to support Unlived. So I know the James Baker's over there, so he has 10K more points now. Sweet Pea's over there; she's got 10K. Who else did I see on Live It? If I've seen you over on Live It, let me know.
Tell the audience what you're doing on Live It this week.
Oh my god, I sang for 4 hours on Live It. It was awesome. I'll probably sing more on Thursday and do some stories, some comedy, some commentaries. Jeff comes on to some characters with me on Fridays. We'll do some accents. Rob, if I ever figure out how to like have guests on Live It, you're definitely have to come on Fridays
Sure.
with characters with me.
I want to play a game with Rob where I call him, and every time he picks up the phone, he's somebody else.
Oh yeah,
That'd be so much fun, dude. I would just
Not bad.
straight up. That's what our whole stream would be.
I found my plural noun. I'm taking Canadians.
There's like impressions I haven't pulled out in years. I mean,
Dude.
so
Dude, that was so fun. And it was brilliant. Like I said, it was because you just rolled with everything. It was perfect. It doesn't work. Why can't I words? I can't English tonight. I know exactly why I can't. All right, chat. You guys are working on an animal. Rob, you have a verb ending in ing.
pissing.
Pissing.
I was going to say fucking, but pissing is just as cool.
Pissing is great. So Jeff, you get a noun.
How about? Could it be a proper noun?
If you want it to be.
John Nolan. Officer John
Officer
Nolan of the
John.
LAPD. What if there's a real Officer John Nolan of the LAPD? Can you
Probably there is.
we talked about
What are you
before?
talking about? That'd be weird.
Like, dude, the rookie. Oh, he's like, oh yeah, that show. Everyone goes to be on the street. Affiliate, yeah.
Yes.
John Nolan. Fuck
John-
off.
Angry Beavers. That would be.
It's a great show.
That's a great show, and
Scary in real life.
I have to take a Karens.
Ford Explorer.
Anal worms.
I advocate Ford Explorer. Or for Ford Explorer because it's so random. Like every other one is like, oh, this body part or this. Ford Explorer.
It's not an animal.
It is now.
It's all right. It is now. I just steam is 10 points for that.
What is my
And don't worry,
animal?
Canadian
Ford
Spider-Man.
Explorer.
I gave you your 10 points for that. And like I said, if anyone else was over there with us on Live It, just let me know and let me know what your username was over there, and I'll just give you 10,000 points. Thank you, XXYX. Or, sorry, Zizix.
Does Zizix identify as an alien?
Chat, you're working on an occupation next. Rob, you get another place.
Saskatchewan.
I don't even know how to spell that.
I was about to ask. You know how to spell many words, but do you know how to spell Saskatchewan? Because I don't. I am damn good at spelling myself.
All right, that's my best guess.
SCLF.
That's my best guess.
Saskatchewan.
It looks pretty good.
Look, you're the one that's reading your own writing.
That's
You'll know.
true. All right, chat's working on occupations. We already have a gynecologist in there. Thanks, Emily.
Pole dancer, someone says.
And Jeff, you have a plural noun.
How about
Emily, I'm just preemptively giving you gynecologist because I assume that one's going to win. I've decided it is. Where are you on here? All right, Emily Bestinger. There you are.
EBD?
EBD.
I'm going to give you a basic one. Grapes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Can I call an audible on that one? It's going to make too much sense.
Oh, it's too much sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me pull that back then. How about muff cabbages?
Yeah. That's much better. Gynecologist, as we already said, from gynecology. Gynecology.
Is that a location on a map?
Chat, y'all are working on a verb now. Ass man. That's not really a profession, that's more of a description.
That's a wrestler. Seriously, Mr. Ass, his theme song is I'm an ass man. Pew, pew.
Profession.
After the show.
Profession would be proctologist.
Correct. This is why we have Rob here, for knowing things. Pimple bob. Ew. All right, chat, you guys are working on a verb. Work on a verb. Verbs now. No more pimple bobbing. Verbs. Rob, you get a plural occupation.
Plural occupation. Trying to think of something dirty, but I'm kind of just toilet paper.
Oh, also, Rob, we had a request for you to do your best Tom impression.
Oh, I can't. No, dude, hold on. I'm still working on the occupation. Pimps.
Pimps. Oh, perfect.
Pimps from Oakland? Oh,
Hi, this is Tom. I'm Tom Connors. That's the closest I can get. I haven't really practiced a Tom impression.
That wasn't bad there. I think you should do one. You should practice doing impressions of the things that Tom does impressions of, and do your impression of Tom doing impressions of Batman and other people and stuff like that.
so that's how the Dr. Evil voice was born.
Yeah,
because
I do.
Lorne Michaels impression, or Lorne Michaels as done by fucking Mike Myers.
Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil. I do more to Kevin Conroy Batman. So
that makes sense. I mean, you got to go your own way, you know. It is.
I've treated my costume with an herbicide.
You know.
I like it.
I like it too.
Do your Batmans ever fight? Because they should.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, occasionally.
I need that in my life somewhere. All right, chat's working on a verb. We got puke barf activating. Jeff, you're gonna give me an adjective.
How about shitty?
I was seeing if you could read my mind. I was trying to send you stanky. But shitty's pretty close.
It was gonna be cheesy or funky, honestly. So it's gonna be.
I'm gonna be shitty.
You're into shitty?
No. All right. So let's take puke. That just seems fun from Greg Kirby.
He's gonna puke.
Puke seems like a good one. Where's Greg Kirby? I know he has points. I think I purposely made sure he got points once because he was sad that he would never get points. Now you have 10 more points. And chat is working on a plural noun, making your best as your last chance, chat. Rob, you have a noun.
Chicken.
Couldn't just say cock? Okay.
Well,
dude, this is okay.
All right,
okay. A verb, s'il vous plaît.
Not ending in ing?
No.
Okay, how about splat? Or skeet? Oh, wait, no.
Yes, do that one.
Skeet? Okay.
Do that one.
Like on air?
Please, no.
Okay, I don't want your channel to get shut down, but if you want it.
Wise Guys Entertainment. That was a good one with prostitutes. We had vagina candles from Green Lion. Excellent.
Those are also known as grenades, sir. Be careful. Instead of an IUD.
Yeah. When I saw that story, I saw I read it as Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina explodes.
Oh my god. Yep.
I wish.
Yep. If only we could be that lucky. The James Baker's gonna swoop in and steal that last word and take truffles.
Did you ever hear my guide to writing an Amy Schumer joke?
I did not.
Says, okay, step 1. You reference, you say what a great big whore you are. Step 2, reference a friend who's not a great big whore, but you say that she's not a great big whore like me. Step 3, have an easily relatable situation. And step 4, replace the punchline with my gaping vagina. So the completed Amy Schumer joke is, I'm such a big whore, but my friend Emily, she's not a big whore like me, but that's okay because I'm such a big whore for both of us. Anyway, she got kicked out of her apartment and she had to move into my gaping vagina. And there's your Amy Schumer joke.
Actually kind of works really well.
The James Baker, I love you and I respect you. And normally I will do anything for my super chats, for Mad Libs. However, I am going to call an audible on this one. I have the luxury when I'm not participating of scanning ahead and helping us on our journey. And unfortunately, again, it just makes too much sense. So what I've done, the James Baker, I've awarded you points and I have added it truffles as a note for the next Mad Libs. So next week I will scan through and I will find the best place for truffles to go in next week's story. But we were going to call an audible and we will have to go with Green Lion vagina candles because obviously.
Milestone changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
And that puts Green Lion on the board with 10 points. And vagina candles it is. Vagina candles. So the James Baker, I hope you will forgive me. I conceded for vagina. Oh, you did. Oh, okay. I didn't even see that. So great, the James Baker. I agonized for nothing, which means Rob or whoever else he wants to be will take us home with a type of liquid.
Gasoline.
Brilliant. All right. Are you guys ready to hear the beautiful story that we all, me, you, Jeff, the mindless mob, have crafted together? Because I'm ready. All right, mobsters. You guys are all mobsters now, by the way. We're leaning heavy into the like mindless mob as actual mobsters. So like everyone just like start picking your weird thug names, your identities. It's gonna be great.
I'm Big Daddy Bullshit. That's my rap name as well.
I dig it. I'm
but
about
it's
that
also my
life.
pimp name, my gangster name.
I don't have a thug name. I have a Native American name, Chief Sitting Bullshit.
They're perfect. You guys are like you guys are a tag team now.
I'm from the
Chief Sitting Bullshit and Big Daddy Bullshit.
Yeah, from the Sosumi tribe.
You guys have a great you'll have a
Vince
great
McMahon will
gimmick.
love us because I'll get real buff.
Uh-huh.
So I'll be a big buff guy.
He's gonna want you to wear like a wig though with long straight hair.
For the contract I'll probably get. Okay.
But how are you going to feel knowing every time you put it on that he's probably going to do terrible things to pictures of you later that night?
As long as those checks clear, I don't give a shit.
Fair enough.
I'm on national television making millions of dollars.
My feelings exactly.
Got action figures. I'm in video games. Oh, but your boss jerks off to a picture of you. Don't tell me about it, but fuck, I'm not going to quit this job because I am top of the world.
So, damn straight. Hell, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. I always said, like, I had that conversation with myself when I came out to LA. I was like, Jesse, are you going to sleep with people to get places in your career? Is that a thing you'd ever do? And I was like, well, here's the thing. If it's somebody that I would already sleep with, like normally without perks, then I don't really have a moral dilemma sleeping with them for perks. But if it's somebody I wouldn't sleep with to begin with, I'm not going to sleep with someone just for perks. You know, I feel like I could justify it. It's kind of like that in reverse, where it's like, if somebody wants to exploit me for terrible, gross things, as long as I don't ever have to know about it, do whatever you want to the pictures. I don't really care. But anyway, where is Cecil? He really should be here for this. For hashtag foodie dilemmas, by the way. That's the story we wrote. You guys ready for it? A text exchange between dining trenders Brooke and Lynn.
What does okay?
Brooke, you around tonight? I was thinking we should check out that new London Supper Club. We need to pound early though because they only let a few twat waffles in each night. Lynn, I'm pissing at the co-op until 8. I guess Lynn only has one kidney too. Can we do the John Nolan shack instead? I'm craving lobster roll. Brooke, totes over them, but Ford Explorer rolls are totally hot right now. This sounds like something that would be like people in LA would
They're
get
nice
down
and
for.
oily.
Lynn, how about Farm to Saskatchewan Bistro? It's super local. Only if you're in Saskatchewan. Because if you're not, Farm to Saskatchewan table is going to be pretty fucked up.
It's just any farm. At this point.
Right? They even grow their own muff cabbages and veggies on the roof. And you can pick them yourself before the gynecologist prepares your meal.
Ew.
Brooke, I hear the bartenders dressed like old pimps with shitty little mustaches and suspenders. Pass.
Ah! No. That's one of my favorite things.
I do not want to go to the restaurant where the bartenders dress up like old pimps with shitty little mustaches.
That's the only place I want to eat. They have great steaks.
So we will go to Farm to Saskatchewan Bistro, where the bartenders dress up like old pimps with shitty little mustaches. It is canon.
Pimp.
It is canon. If we're really lucky, we can puke at the pop-up restaurant in the basement of the chicken building downtown.
That sentence is like sounds like it was written by AI. Can you reread that again, please?
If we're really lucky, we can puke at the pop-up restaurant in the basement of the chicken building downtown.
That is you are a fucking robot. You've just broken on it.
That does sound like an AI that's like, oh, this is supposed to make sense. Input, Lynn, if we're really lucky, we can puke at the pop-up restaurant in the basement of the chicken building downtown.
Downtown.
I am a computer. My life is difficult because
I am a domestic bot.
feelings. My life sucks. That was one of my earliest impressions. Did you know that? You did not, because I have never done it for you before. I got really good at mimicking the way voice text would read the old shitty voice text things. It is a skill that I have.
Well, I'm glad Alexa has fixed that.
Brooke, what if we just skeet at home and order a pizza? It's the easiest choice, isn't it?
I asked myself that question.
Well, that's perfect. Now, what toppings? I like oven roasted vagina candles with a drizzle of locally harvested gasoline.
Oh.
But remember, folks, put the gasoline on after the vagina candles have come out of the oven, and be careful what temperature you heat the oven at, because your vagina candle might explode.
Also, before we go.
Oh my God, Wise Guys is very impressed. Wise Guys Entertainment is impressed with my impression of a Macintosh from 1984. They did like this all the way through the 90s as well.
Well, since people brought up Cecil.
There's
Cecil.
Cecil.
There
Cecil
he is.
lives.
Cecil lives.
Cecil lives. And if you would like to have that image in your home, you must
Burned
be
in your
there
brain.
on the first day of the Stealing Solo Second Chance campaign for the variant cover.
I'm glad I'm not making that.
Looks like Dom DeLuise's Captain Chaos from Cannonball Run. Yeah,
that's what Cecil's based on.
The inspiration.
Okay, good. It's not just me then.
Cecil is love. Cecil is love. Cecil is life.
Hello.
Hello, says Cecil. Hashtag vagina harvesting. One day I should do a stream where all I do is read the chat in this voice.
There you go, folks. There's the rest of it.
It is
Cecil.
very exciting. Anyway,
Yeah, one of these days, I'm gonna Cecil's gonna let it slip, and you're gonna hear his real voice. He's gonna be talking. Yes, I was like, how long do I have to put up with this accent? Come on,
Oh, you've heard.
The thing is it actually it's not that different.
Yeah, it's like
it's really like he puts it on. Like I remember him saying stuff in the beginning, like, "Oh, like my real voice is way different." It's not.
No,
it's really not. It's not that different. Like if you just heard him casually talking in his regular voice on the street, you might not immediately recognize it, I guess. But if you,
I did because
yeah,
Cecil took me out for drinks.
Yeah,
the first time I met him in New York City, he's like, "Hey, I'll take you and the guys out for drinks," and he's like, "Meet us at this bar on the top of a building." And this little guy pops up, and it's Cecil.
Hello.
Yeah.
The James Baker says, "Robotic Jesse beep bop boop. I prefer my pronouns to beep boop bop beep. Thank you very much. Order matters." Green Lion, the cake is a lie. The cake is a lie.
Well, let's hope by October, when New York Comic Con rolls around, we can if you guys are in New York, we can all get together sometime.
Dude, if it involves drinking with Cecil, I am there. And if it involves drinking with you, that is an equally good selling point.
You're too kind.
It's a little bit of a lie. Cecil is just a wild, crazy party animal. And I don't know how much of you are yet. So you are yet untested. Since the last time, we hung out in person, you were a little busy.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Which look, very understandable. We were equally preoccupied
Yeah.
ourselves.
Bro.
So.
All right.
But with the conclusion of Mad Libs, it does bring us to the end of tonight's broadcast. It was a pleasure. It was a blast. Rob, thank you so much. This is your first time being an official guest over here. I think it might have been. I think I've kicked you the invite. I know you've been on here before and stuff.
Yeah.
Our first time officially featuring you on the channel. So not the last, I'm sure.
Well, thanks for having me. I will.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for making it a late night to hang out with us. We really appreciate it. Hope you didn't mind too much.
No problem. Will do.
I know what it's like. My downstairs neighbor hates me. And Mindless Mob, thank you guys also for being here. Guys, make sure you check out the Livit app. That's capital Livit. It's got a funny little face on it. And follow me at m.e.godempress to check out all those fun new live streams. I post those links over on Twitter and the community tab on YouTube if you want the direct link to download Livit and check me out over there. Otherwise, I'll be back here tomorrow at 3 o'clock for the Matriarchy with Anna, that Star Wars girl. Jeff, what would you like to say to the audience?
I will be doing the Super Chat Hangover tomorrow at noon Pacific, so Tom will be joining me, so there's a bonus show for people while I catch up with everything. And then we'll be working on videos, getting the comic stuff finalized, and then you'll be hearing a lot from me. So if you've noticed, the channel's been on the upswing. We've been pumping out content left and right. It's going to keep coming. And we got new stuff coming all the time, so just keep watching. You're going to be surprised.
And I'm trying to remember if I remember to post this link or not, but I think I posted. I'll post it again. Make sure you guys sign up to the Indiegogo for Stealing Solo. And if you want to follow Rob or Chris over on Twitter or on their YouTube channels or over on Film Threat on the website, all of that is posted. All those links are posted in the description. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you drop a like on this stream or press the like button if you have not done so already. Once again, thank you everybody for being here. Thanks again to Rob for showing up and hanging out late. And God Empress out. Oh wait, we have to do it like we do it. God Empress out, but we got to Corona kiss our way off this stream. There we go.
We should actually kiss to the other Corona song.
We should.